It's time. I don't know how we got to here, but high school is coming for us in our homeschool. And it is time that I just kind of vocalize what that could look like for us. So today I'm going to word vomit at you. Any guidance, anything to offer, whether it is encouragement or I've been there before or this worked for us or here's something you need to know about, send it my way because this is new and scary. And I still am not quite at the place where I know which path we're gonna take. So let's discuss it. Welcome back to Making Everyday Magic. My name is Shanna, and if you are new here, we're a homeschooling family of 4. We are in our 9th year of homeschooling, and we are halfway through 8th grade and 4th grade. 8th grade, halfway through. And that means high school is very, very nearly on the horizon. So today we're gonna talk about it. Before we go any further, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me right on down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. So, high school. Now, there are at least a few of you who are right with me or right near me who offer me words of encouragement all the time, who I feel like I can genuinely bounce ideas off of. And that's kind of what this video is gonna be. So where we are now, we are halfway through 8th grade, which means we need to start thinking long-term, college. And with that comes working it back, and how are we going to get there from here? The way that I am looking at it currently is that we have 3 options. One of which is a magnet style school in the district that we live in, which is Houston. And they have a performing and visual arts high school dedicated to the performing and visual arts. If we chose public school for high school, that would be the direction that we went. Some sort of magnet program, something that is a little bit more insulated from kind of like general population. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One is it would foster what is currently the intent for later. It would result in what I perceive to be better access to resources, campuses, things like that, which if I, after 9 years, was going to choose public school, that would be the way in which I chose it. There is not any leanings currently to a private school. So that's just not something I'm going to entertain in this video because it's just not something that's come up. If we were going to choose a brick and mortar, it would be a magnet program. The next option is that, and we have a ton of community colleges near us. We have HCC, we have Lone Star, we have tons of options for dual credit, Arizona Universal Learners programs. There's tons of stuff online, resources to go ahead and just kind of start high school with dual credit, which is an option. It is not the way that I am leaning because a couple of reasons. I don't feel like I am ready for that. 100% outsourcing. I don't feel like it would be the best choice at this point for what will be a fresh 14-year-old. I don't know. Where I am now is I need to do more research. I need to learn a bit more. There are some things that we've got on the table, setting up PSAT, really kind of starting to narrow down what the future looks like for us. Where I am now, where I am likely leaning is that both our math program, which is Denison, and our language arts program, which is Math UC, which, as you guys know, I love both of these dearly. I love them so much. They both have 2 more levels beyond this level, which would take us through sophomore year of high school, which for me, I feel like aligns with what I foresee being our goals and in our intent. So if we intended to homeschool fully through the next 2 years, through sophomore year, I feel like going into junior year would be a good transition point to go into something that is dual credit, to be physically on a college campus, to be having that kind of external pressures and those external expectations and that bigger workload. In my brain, I feel like that's more appropriate at 16 than it is at 14. I also feel like, just based on what I know, I don't need her to graduate high school at the same time she's coming out with her bachelor's. It would be great if you could get some of those basics under your belt, maybe even come out with an associate's at the same time that you are graduating high school. But I don't feel that big need to push 4 years of school into an already packed 4 years of school, if that makes sense. So I feel like ideally at this point, looking ahead, what in my brain makes the most sense is that we would transition to high school, get a feel for that, understand what that's like, but also kind of in many ways wrap it up with that conclusion of Denison and that conclusion of Michael Clay Thompson Language Arts. So it would give us like 2 years to get our feet wet there and to get that understood, 2 years to really prep and move forward with a dual credit program to kind of set up all those connections, to understand who I'm really talking to, what that looks like as far as high school is concerned. And then that would give her 2 years to do dual credit. Now, I haven't ruled out going into 9th grade with maybe 1 dual credit class. Maybe it's history, or we go ahead and start science, even though part of my concern, I think, is that in my brain, I've planned for the next 2 years. So like, I know what we want to do for biology next year, adding dissection labs at Museum of Natural Science. Like, some of that is that I already have a little bit of a thought. I've been thinking long-term, I've been thinking globally, and therefore I have a little bit of a plan, which I'm not prepared yet to abandon because I think it is ideal, right? It's what I feel like is suited best to us and tailored best to us. So at this point, I have that little bit of a plan. I am happy to pivot, as you guys know, at any point, but so far, I feel like that's a good idea. But I also really, really love the idea of starting dual credit to ease the transition between homeschool and college, to give it that little bit of, for lack of a better description, validity, that little bit of substantialness to it that kind of verifies that I got her to a point, somebody else helped me bridge that gap, to look like it is more professional, to look like it is more widely accepted, to get our feet in the door where we might not have done so as easily otherwise, even though I completely know that homeschoolers can go anywhere they want to, absolutely. I just feel like it will give us a little bit of a ramp in the door, if that makes sense. Can help us pick up speed a bit. So currently, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm swimming. My brain is constantly going, and come the springtime, it's going to be time to really start planning. So be on the lookout for that. If you have any guidance to offer, if you just want to hold my hand and cry in the corner, please reach out. I'm happy to hold a hand. I don't know what's ahead. If anybody's been through this recently, please reach out. Let me know. Just tell me it'll be okay. It's such a gravity, and we're getting to the point where it's real serious. So yeah, big things ahead. But those are the 3 options that I foresee. Back into a magnet program, or into a magnet program, not back. I guess I've never gone to real school. And dual credit from the launch, or delayed dual credit a bit. So let me know. What do you think? What do you think are the benefits and drawbacks? I'd love to hear. What have you experienced? What do you know? What have you heard? Let me know. All right, guys, I hope that you found any of this helpful, entertaining, or informative. If you did, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me right on down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. And please share. If you have experience to share, words of encouragement, any of it, let me know, because like I said, there's a few of us here who are in the same boat. We're staring down the barrel of a pew-pew, and time just doesn't slow down, does it? So I don't know how we got here, but here we are. Bye, guys.